So guys, please turn on your domain controller LTTOR DC1, power it on. So guys, please log in. Walaikum assalam. So everyone logged in. So guys, please click on tools on your server manager dashboard. Click on tools. Is it visible to everyone? Should I?
Make this a little bit.
Yeah. Keep in mind Simon as well as Simon. The first tool in Active Directory we are going to explore is Active Directory users and computers. So click on that, please. The fifth option. These are the Active Directory tools. Active Directory users and computers, sites and services, domains and trust, administrative center, and Windows PowerShell module, Active Directory module for PowerShell. So click on Active Directory users and computers. So please click on pointing arrow for latesttech.edu to expand your domain. It's latesttech.edu, and then we have few built-in containers there. All of these are, we call them OUs or containers. If you guys click on built-in container, we have these groups available inside. We call them security groups. So access control assistants, operators, account operators, administrators. So whatever the user we have in our environment, if we want to give them specific access, these are the default and built-in all our groups from Microsoft site. So if we want to use these groups to assign the permissions for our ACLs, we can use these groups. So these are security groups. If someone is a member of the administrators, it can perform all the administrative tasks. If someone is member of accounts operators, it means it can deal only with the accounts. And one very famous one is the backup operators is here, so they keep doing their own job only. They will not have access to other areas of the Active Directory or the domain. They will have the specific access. We are adding them in the groups. So if there are print operators, they will be able to do only one job, that is related to prints. So we can use these built-in security groups to assign the permissions. So, or we can use our customized group. We can create groups ourselves and then we can assign the permissions accordingly. These are built-in groups and very rare we use them. Just few of them RODC related, we use them because we need to cache the passwords of the users on RODC server. When we will be dealing with the RODC, we will talk about that. That group that we use built-in group. Administrators group, we use this one. But mostly we create customized group. We assign them customized permission and then we add user into those security groups to give them access to different resources according to their role in the organization. So then we have computers. Right now it's empty. Whatever the computer, we will in our lab environment, we will create another machine, another machine, another machine, and then we will keep adding, joining the domain. After joining the domain, all computers will be enlisted here. So whatever we call them member servers or member clients. So whatever we have, we will be adding here. They will be part of the domain joint PCs, right? Or domain joint servers. For servers, we specifically use member servers term. So they will be enlisted, keep enlisted here. And whatever the computer, PC or server will be the member of domain, we need to create the users only at one place and all the users will be able to log in these domain joint computers by using only that account. We in workgroup environment, what we were doing, we were keep creating the user accounts on the servers and on the PCs to access those resources. But it's a centralized environment. We will keep creating the user accounts on our domain controllers and the machines will be keep joining our domain, and the domain joined machines, everyone will be able to log in, that is a user of our domain. But then he will be able to access the resources according to their permissions. So there is a domain controllers OU. All the domain controllers, we will add more domain controllers over here and they will be come to this area. In this built-in OU, they will be part of this. Foreign security principles, these are the accounts we will be discussing in 412. It will be more confusing over here. And the managed service accounts, these two OUs we will be discussed in detail in 7412. And then we have users OU. So all of the users are here. And we have groups here as well. The group I was talking about, allowed RODC password replication, it's the group we usually use when we have RODC server in our environment. RODC means read-only domain controller. So if we have only read-only domain controller, RODC, in our environment, we will be using this security group. So we have these, the symbol showing two guys, it's group, and if it's showing one, it means it's an account. So right now we have administrator account here. We logged in as an administrator. We can make a copy of this account and then we will start using that account instead of administrator account. In production, we don't go with this name administrator because everyone can come to know, okay, administrator is a built-in user account there. So let's try. So always there is administrators mean I can be the administrator, Amin can be the administrator. We have names, Aminur Rahman Rai Wahid, right? So account will be on our own name, but the members, we will be the members of all of these groups this administrator is member of. So if I click on member of, this administrator right now is member of administrators, domain admins, domain users, enterprise admins, group policy, creator owners, and schema admins. So this guy is member of this much groups. And if we will be creating a group that will be the entitled as an administrator, system administrators, that will be the exact copy of this account. So that guy will have all the permissions and rights this administrator account has. So right now please let's create an account. So right click on this administrator and click on copy. Right click administrator account and then click on copy. So now create a user account LT admin. LT admin. Then you type the same over here in user logon name. So LT admin. So please click next and give the same password welcome one. Don't choose please any of the option. These are the options available when we create a user account. User must change password at next logon. User account change password, cannot change password, password never expires, and accounts is disabled. So we have discussed about it earlier, so no need to discuss it again. So click on next and then finish. And now please double click on this LT admin and then click on member of tab, and you will see it now. It's member of all of the accounts. We just copy that account.
There's no member on.
Pardon?
Right on the top. No, the first one.
On the tabs
Yeah.
in third row, last tab.
For us, it's coming on the top.
And first, yeah, it can be. So please cancel this one. Usually after creating at least one admin account, domain administrator account, we disable this built-in account. But over here we are not going to disable it. Sometimes if we need to change the password and we do something and we forget the things, we can come back to this administrator account. We can use alternatively. So leave it like this, and but the log off from the computer, right click on Windows icon of your domain controller and then sign out. Sign out and now log in as a LT admin. So click on this button to send Control Alt Delete, and then please click on other user and then what is the domain name?
LT admin. Oh, sorry. Latest step.
Latest tech / LT admin. It's not case sensitive, so we are typing small letters, capital letters, it doesn't matter. So latest tech / IT admin and then password
IT admin or LT admin?
LT admin, sorry. It looks like in front of me IT admin. And now it will ask you guys VMware tools again one time. So for new user,
What about the user interface?
Yeah. do yes and quickly log in again. So yeah, and if the VMware tools message pop up, just click on OK. You're just still trying to log in.
Same password. What's the password, sir?
What did you enter the password while creating the user? Logged in? So now June it will pop up for VMware tools. So click on yes, do OK, and just log in again. Now we have their LT admin. Now please. Yes, boss. What happened?
What was the issue, sir?
He
No, I don't want to.
It's never ever a good idea to change the domain name, rename the domain.
If you rename it, in case, then you have to shut it down and do it again, right?
Actually, renaming the domain means it's a migration now.
Wow. It's not easy like this. We do it.
Yeah, in labs we do whatever we are doing, but usually we take the classes as an actual environment. So I will never ever recommend to rename the domain name. So it's not a good idea. It's a migration. So guys, please again click on tools and then click on Active Directory users and computers. Then expand your latest tech.edu. Right click on users. Right click on users OU. Then new, and then come down to user, new user. So create a user account. So LT user 1. I'm using capital letters so you guys can see the spellings. LT user 1, and in the logon name LT user 1. So next, and please use the same password, welcome 1. So click on next.
So we don't need, we need to uncheck that.
Yeah. And then click on finish. Now expand your users. Just click on users. We have LT admin. Double click on your LT admin account. And then double click on your LT user 1 account. Now on your in front of your screen, see I have opened both of them, LT admin and LT user. So I'm going now to the members area of which groups these users are member of. So click on member of for LT admin and then member of LT user. So what is the difference in both of the users accounts?
One is just a user and one is the admin.
So whenever we create a user account, by default it's a member of only one group, that is domain users. Domain users group give the privilege to access to any domain joined machine. To any domain joined machine, this guy can log in. It has rights now to log into each and every domain joined machine. So we don't need to create multiple accounts to access multiple machines.
So if I have more than domain, he can enter. This user can use them all, can get to only my first domain.
Dr. Saab, don't be too advanced.
No, I'm just
Yeah.
wondering.
No, good question. But we will address this question in later modules. But for now, yes, this user can log in. But then there is a trust relationship. What type of trust relationship we have? Within Forest, this guy can. There is inbuilt by default two-way trust relationship, as we were discussing yesterday, Forest, and we said it's a collection of domains. And one of the option what they are sharing, that was two-way transitive trust relationship, right? So we said that yesterday. So on base of that, I'm saying they can log in. And the administrator account has more privileges, right? We copy and created an account. Now we created the account directly. If we are creating the account without copying, it means it will be the only member of domain users accounts group. But if we are copying any account, then whatever from we are copying, right, it will be the exact copy of the account we are copying from. Now anyone has USB drive? First we copy an account, then we created one single user. Now let me show you guys how we can create bunch of users together. Just small experience, otherwise that is not our topic right now. So guys, please open your PowerShell. It's on the taskbar. Right click on PowerShell. And then if it should look like this, then on the top one again right click, Windows PowerShell, right click and then run as administrator. Run as administrator, then you do yes for pop-up. So please type cd backslash and then hit enter, and it should be on C drive now. Got it? Then please type dir, enter, and now we can see all the folders, directories we have on our C drive. And then on your over here, please type cd space latest, the folder we have. If you will hit tab, it will come up itself. So cd space and start typing LATE and then just hit tab key, and it will be look like this. Done, Fatima? Amin? See, just type cd space, see there, cd space, and now we need to bring this folder. We need to go into this folder, latest tech users. We copied on our C drive. First we went to the C drive, we enlisted the directories by issuing the command dir, and then we are going into now latest tech users folder, inside the folder. So cd space, then type LATE, just 2-3 words, and then hit tab, and it will be there, and then hit enter. And now see, we are in C backslash latest tech users. Now please type dir, again type dir, hit enter, and now it will show the files inside that folder. You need help? So 911 is coming. So now please just start typing what you are looking at, the first line. So create lab users, CREAT, and then hit tab. It should look like this. Just type few words and then hit tab, and it will be looking like that. So I'm typing it again. See, what I did is just CR, maybe 2 words, and then I hit tab, and it showed up the file. It's the PS1 file, PowerShell script file we are going to run. Got it, Fatima? John? Amin? So hit enter, and now it asking, okay, browse to the CSV file where we have in latest tech users. Double click on this folder, latest tech users, and then double click on this new ad users.csv file. Double click on it, and it will be creating the around, I just typed this, around 60 users. So everyone done? So minimize this PowerShell. And I closed my Active Directory users and computers. So tools, click on tools and then click on Active Directory users and computers. In Active Directory and users, see we have now another OU, latest tech users. We just created right now using this PowerShell. So latest tech users OU is there. If you will double click on this latest tech users, you will see bunch of user accounts there, and you guys can find your one as well. Keep scrolling down and up, and your names should be there inside this OU. Did you find your one?
Yeah. No. Controls.
Just hold on. What folders which are available on CD, which shows you.
Explain for him.
CDs to change that.
The folder is not showing
Alvali, let me know the question, so I will tell all of the students.
Yeah, I'm asking about the commands we did it now. So, what's the meaning of CD? What is the meaning of DIR?
So CD, as Nawaz was telling you, change directory. So we can move from one directory to another. If we type anywhere CD backslash, it goes to the root directory. Over here we have C drive, so it went to the C drive. So if we are on the E drive and we are keep working on different folders and we will type CD backslash, it will come to the E drive, the first position, right? Instead of C, before we had C colon backslash Windows System 32 and then we typed CD. So we wanted to
C and E in our
whatever we have. Oh, C, right now we were on the C drive.
yeah.
C colon backslash Windows System 32, right?
Yes.
And then we were at type CD and we come to the first position, C.
Okay.
So we skipped System 32, we come out of System 32, out of Windows, and came back to the C drive. And then when we were in the C drive, we typed directory. DIR means directories. In other words, folders. Directories are the folders. So we said, okay, and list all of the folders, whatever we have in this drive. And then when we were on the folder, then we type again directory. So whatever we have in this folder, please enlist for us. And unless we reach out though that PowerShell script file, it's a script file .ps1. We run that script and it said, okay, now let me know where you put the users. Then we give it a, okay, it's our CSV file. And whatever we had in CSV file, it run. And it created a OU in our domain, not only OU, and whatever the user accounts were there. And I added all of you in those users as well.
He didn't got the after copying it. He didn't get any.
So guys, the users accounts you just created, find out your own name. It should be exact. For example, in my case, it's Rai.Waheed, right? So whatever your name is, find exact spellings there. If I put something wrong, go with that, and log in with your own user account. Try to log in. See, mine one is Rai dot Wahid. I will be going with that. So just log off. Come to your Windows icon. Right click on Windows icon. You got it yours? June, any problem?
I didn't have any power up.
You got sweet in?
Mhm.
Sweet is there.
Sweet is it? No. Yeah? Have you checked that?
नहीं नहीं हम वही पियूंगा मैं. No. No, no. So guys, please right click on Windows icon and sign out. Sign out. And then please try to log in with other user. Click on other user. Type your domain name. So latest tech Fatma, go with your own domain. So the users have the same password, welcome one. Every user has the same password. So click OK.
Mine is not taking. I don't know.
Is it the message you got?
Yes.
So the sign in method you are trying to use isn't allowed. For more info, contact your network administrator. So guys, come back, do OK, and now use the back arrow and then again log in as a LT admin. So why you guys are unable to log in? Any idea? Just for brainstorming.
Because the permission.
Permissions. Yeah, permissions. Go ahead. We have discussed. So Andy, why we are not able to log in? So please again open your users and computers by clicking on tools, then Active Directory users and computer. And now come back to your own name again. Latest tech users, and then if I go my name, click on member of. We all are member of domain users. Pardon?
But it's the same thing, latest tech, but .edu is.
No, that's not the reason. The reason is we are member of domain users. Domain users cannot log into domain controllers. Right now we have only domain controllers. I just want you guys to remember this point. In the beginning, it's really helpful. The domain users can only log into domain joined machines. They cannot log into domain controllers. They don't have rights to log in there. Only domain administrators, enterprise administrators, they can log into domain controllers.
Again,
Pardon?
repeat now.
Yeah. So domain users can log in only to domain joined machines. The machines that will join the domain, they will be able to log into those machines. But though they will not be able to log into domain controllers. And we have only right now one domain controller, and we are trying to log in with a simple user.
So the one we created before, the user, he was also domain user, but we can't enter.
No, we did not try with that. LT user, we did not try. We went with LT admin that we created by copying the administrator. So that account had all the privileges of the domain administrator. So right now, how we can be a domain administrator now? If I want,
Who can make this administrator account and you can log in?
yeah, we are going to add ourselves in domain admins groups. Two way. First we can open domain administrators group and then we can enter our name there. Or the second thing, right now we are here. So just click on add. We are member of tab, and a member of tab, click on add. And then type domain, DOMAIN, and just typing domain, click on check names. Now we have domain admins, domain guests, domain users, whatever the group started with the name of domain, they are showed up. So the first one, select the first one, domain admins, and do OK. And do OK. Now we are domain administrators as well. But still we are not enterprise admin, we are not schema admins, we don't have those privileges. Our admin account has. So first we are going to log in, and now we will be able to log into domain controller. So just go with this only one domain admins account, click apply, do OK, and now again please right click on the Windows icon, and now please sign out. And now please click on this button to send Control Alt Delete, and then other user. Now please type latest tech / your own name. What happened, John?
I was not able to catch up the previous one.
What did you miss?
The login.
Login? जी
ये सही बना
So now I am logging with my own name. So latest tech / Rai.Wahid and password welcome 1. So it's a new user, and so VMware tools, if message is there, just do OK and log in again. The good thing, the second time always its name is there. So every story has some moral. What the moral here? So domain users can only log in to domain joint machine.
Domain joint machines is not a server, right?
It can be server, it can be PC, anything. Only because I used one word, domain joint machines, that can be any machine.
But still we have restricted authorities,
Pardon?
We still have some restricted authorities. We cannot do anything.
No, what domain admin can do, we can do. Right? The only thing other than that, the group policies, it might be restricted. We will not be able to play with that. And then the schema, if we need to upgrade, those are different privileges. Right now, we don't need even. So they cannot log in to domain controllers. So domain administrator privilege is required to log in to DCs. DCs mean domain controllers. So what we did right now, it's authentication, right? So now Active Directory database is authenticating our identity. So either we are legitimate users or not. So what type of permissions, where we can log in, where we cannot log in. So authentication, and then we have authorization, and then we have auditing or accounting. What we call these? So triple A's.
It's a battery.
If we will go with that battery, then we will be out of IT scenario. Then we will be doing some electronics things. So authentication, authorization, auditing, or accounting. How Active Directory do these things? See, right now we try first a simple user logged in, that is a domain user, and it denied. Okay, you cannot log in to domain controller. Then we tried with the right privilege and we were able to log in. The same way, then according to the permissions and the privileges, we can log into the different resources we have in our environment. So what the permissions then after authentication? What is authorization? Authorization is permissions to the for the resources, to access to the resources. So most of us are belongs to networking things, so we have ACL, access control list. Authorization is access control list. So auditing, accounting, then we monitor the users who logged into the domain or to the resources available within domain. Either they are using those resources properly according to the principles and procedures adopted by the organization, or they are misusing those resources. We have to keep an eye for that. The third option, auditing or accounting, kicks in. Active Directory use one thing that we call Kerberos. AAA is done by AD using Kerberos protocol. So I will not be able to let you understand Kerberos protocol by sitting on the laptop. I'm coming to the board. That will be not part of the recording. Fatma, you can come here. So what we keep doing, we always need to access the resources in our environment. We have one KDC in this Kerberos. Kerberos protocol required one KDC, key distribution center. In our case, that is a domain controller. In Microsoft, Active Directory as a key distribution center uses domain controller. Resources can be file server, web server, any server. Whatever type of the resource we are accessing, the same process happens. What we are talking about?
MVC,
I'm sorry.
Kerberos.
I'm sorry.
Right? The thing when we try to log in, the first thing we always try to log in. We turned on our PC and we entered our user's name and password. The PC at that time generates one packet. We call that packet authenticator. One packet gets created, that is authenticator. We need more markers, but right now we don't have. So this PC created a packet that is called authenticator, right? It creates authenticator tags including the username and some other informations that PC needs to get authenticated against the key distribution center. So it gets encrypted with this own key. This PC, file resource, file server, DC, all have keys, right? What is key? The password. Where did we create right now? We were on our domain controller. First we created one admin account, then we created one simple account, then we used PowerShell script and we created bunch of users together. We made few of them domain administrator and then we logged in. Where those username and password resides? On our domain controller. If some machine is gonna join to the domain, where the passwords and users will be? On domain controller. So the domain controller, the KDC, key distribution center, that is distributing the passwords to their users and the computers, that guy knows each and everything. This machine is domain joined, so domain controller know this guy. resource, file server, web server, whatever it is, they are joined to the domain. So domain controller knows their resources in the environment. All the resources are well known to DC as well, domain controller. So this guy will encrypt those information with his own password and will send this packet to DC. Packet will come here, this authenticator. It will come here. With a request to log in to domain controller to get authenticated against his own credentials. So this guy can let it know, okay man, you are legitimate guy or you are not. So if it will, what DC will do, DC will use PC's own key to decrypt that packet. If the DC or KDC will able to decrypt that packet, it will say, okay man, you are a legitimate one, you can log in. It will let it log in. But if this key that is there sitting on the DC will not be able to decrypt this packet, authenticated packet, it will say, man, you are not legitimate one. I cannot let it in, right? So as we failed the authentication one time, as a simple user, that was not our right, and we tried to log in, and it said, okay man, you cannot log in. So after checking its own packet, it's legitimate, good to go, what it will do, it will create another thing, we call it TGT. After checking it, it says, okay, I don't need this authenticator anymore. It can be the risk if I leave it on the network. Anyone can get it, right? So this authenticator packet will be demolished after checking the informations. And the DC will create its one more thing we call TGT. It will generate one packet called TGT. TGT means ticket granting ticket. Ticket granting ticket, TGT. Such a packet that is capable to get the tickets. Now it's creating one packet that is capable enough to get the tickets from DC. So that packet we call TGT, ticket granting ticket. It will hand over to PC, and PC always on the RAM of each PC there is one thing, Kerberos tray. We call that Kerberos tray. It will keep that packet in that area. It got the TGT from DC and keeping it its own Kerberos tray. Now this packet, no more authenticator here, no more authenticator there, that's packet gone, we have TGT, TGT is handing over to now PC who came to DC for authentication. No, it's not no more here, it went there in the Kerberos tray of the PC. Now here it has this right. It will be valid for next 8 hours. Next 8 hours, it doesn't need to get authenticated against its own credentials. Good to go. Now this guy is saying, okay man, I need to access the file server. So what you do? So now it will make a copy of it, the TGT, and will send it to the domain controller with the request, please grant me a ticket to access the file server. This guy will create a ticket and will hand over to it, that will be encrypted with the key of file server. It has here, and the ticket will come here. Now after getting the ticket, it will make a copy of the ticket and will present to the file server, asking man, let me come in and let me use the resources. This guy will check the ticket, copy of the ticket with his own encryption key. If this guy is able to decrypt that, it understand, okay, the only guy who knows about me is DC. So if it is coming with these informations, it means this guy is legitimate guy. It has right to access the resources. So now it will decrypt the ticket, check the credential, check the permissions. Okay, this guy has access, can access these folders, files, those things, and will let it come in. And it's not gonna keep the copy of the ticket. It's a file server. If it will keep copying of the tickets, it will be mess, huge mess, right? 1,000 clients every day access file servers. It will discard that copy of ticket. If user lose the connectivity or close the session with file server, what it will do, it will again make a copy of it, the ticket. It already has gotten from the DC. This ticket age is 8 hours again. So it will keep accessing the resource by making the copies of the ticket and presenting to the resource. It's not only file server, whatever the resource is, the same process will keep going on. But you guys noticed there is communication is happening between this guy and this guy. No communication is there. Throughout the process, authentication process or authorization process or auditing process, everything is in this ticket. And the communication is only between the client and the KDC. No communication during this process, no communication between DC and the resources. Not at all. They don't need. This guy knows everyone. These guys need the access, right? It has nothing to do. Only the sources are sitting on that server. And this guy will, the main part always play the end user. It started this process. It always generates authenticator. And the DC keep doing the rest. And then again the part is on end user, where he wants to access. He will request the ticket. He will get the ticket, copy the ticket, present to the resource, and will get the access to the resource. So in authentication and this AAA process, most of the part is get played by the end user, these PCs. Very less part, no part, not at all. You just need to access the resources there. So is the Active Directory works? Any question?
So why do we need the black key?
Pardon?
The black key. Why is there any encryption?
Yeah, good question. Maybe I missed. When this guy created the TGT, it's encrypted that packet with its own key, with its own password. Only that's why when the PC is presenting TGT back, sending back to KDC to get the ticket, it doesn't need to authenticate the user now. it will decrypt with its own key, just decryption. And it will, okay, I issued this ticket, TGT, I know this guy. So I don't need to authenticate this user anymore. I don't need to check its credentials anymore. I issued this TGT that is capable enough to get the tickets from me to different resources, and it will keep sending the tickets. And TGT will keep moving in between the end user and the KDC. Whenever it needs to access a new resource, then it will send the TGT here and get the ticket for that resource. That will be valid for 8 hours. But after 8 hours, this TGT will be gone, because it will be a too longer time, so hackers can kicks in, right? So to avoid those compromises, after 8 hours, if this guy still need access, then it will generate the authenticator. The whole process will get repeated.
So the key is only for the handshake. The transaction is not encryption, right?
None. Transaction is not encrypted. When it after session is established, in 7 layers we talked about the session. After all these things, a session get established in between those two, and that is always, or most of the time, it's a secure session. So traffic is coming back and forth.
So just only one key, one public key, right? No private key.
Public key and private key, it's a concept is here, but the thing is, if this guy is using its own key, it's first sharing. That is the three-way handshake. That process is happening again. This guy has its own key. It's first sharing its public key with the rest. But in KDC, they don't share any public key, because this guy has everything here. That is different authentication process, especially CHAP. We use three-way handshake there. So their private key and public keys are taking part and playing their own part. So we will be discussing CHAP in Cisco CCNA. Any question? Sir Freed, MBIT. You have very strong degree. Simon sir. No cross questioning or no question?
No question.
Good to go.
These are our internal things, right?
Internal things means
Got it. Internal environment.
if the machines are domain joined, the same thing is happening over the. Then when we are accessing remotely, a few other protocols kicks in, and we will be discussing those scenarios as well. Right now, only Active Directory we are saying, and Active Directory uses Kerberos for this AAA.
Manas, do you have any questions?
Pardon? So guys, please click on your tools and then click on Active Directory sites and services. Active Directory, sites and services. Fatma got it? So click Active Directory, sites and services and let it come. It takes a little time always. So in Active Directory, sites and services, expand the sites and then expand intersite transport, expand default first site name and servers, expand everything underneath. Yesterday we talking about forest domain. Pardon? Okay, just expand default first site name. There is default first site name.
Yeah, I already got that.
Yeah, then servers.
I don't have LTDSC. The T.
Expand your server LT.dc1 and then will be NTDS settings there. When we were installing the domain controller yesterday, we were promoting our server to domain controller. There was one thing, default first site name. We did not discuss that. But when we have forest domain controllers, we said domain controllers sits somewhere physically. That is site. And when we are promoting the domain controller first time, it by default goes here, default first site name. And when we were adding a new domain controller in the environment, I will show you guys, it will pop up, okay, this is the default first site name. You want to send this here or you want to choose some other site. So if we have created the sites here, then we will be able to choose that site. Otherwise, by default, all the domain controllers will be coming this default first site name. And as Andy was asking yesterday, how we divide, here we have subnets. These are the subnets we will be creating and then assigning domain controllers different sites. Removing our domain controllers to different sites, and then we will create the subnets that will let them know, okay, no, you domain controller belong to Toronto site, you domain controller belong to Mississauga site, you belong to Vancouver site, you belong to New York. So different sites can be. So they will not be able to talk as frequently and friendly as they are talking within the site. So guys, now please at least install another server. On your left pane, wherever you guys have put your template server 2012 R2, please don't turn it on, just simple click on it. Single click on template we created yesterday or day before yesterday. Got it, June? Left pane of the VMware workstation. Just first simple click on it, one click, so it should look like this. Then don't turn it on. Again, first simple click, then right click, and then come to manage and choose the option clone. Click on clone and the wizard will open up. June, are you not following us?
Sorry, his machine is on.
So clone wizard, please click next, again next, and then create a full clone. So next, now give it a name, LT Tor DC2. LT Tor DC2 and click on finish. So guys, just click on close and don't turn it on. We do turn it on tomorrow morning. And if you guys can do, just cross this template. So accidentally we don't want to turn it on. We created
this tablet.
template for our ease, so we easily can install the VMs more and more.
You can turn on the